Hey everyone, happy Monday. Today we are going to be working on ceramic mugs, doing a swirl situation. I've got a bunch of different mugs and we're going to be using the CrystaLac water-based inks to make it happen. As always, let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, where you're watching from. If it's your first time, welcome. We go live every single Monday. And I think we're working the past couple weeks. It has been a little technical difficulty situations, but I think we are good. Hi, Kim, Kelsey, and Becky are here. Thank you for coming. And hi, Jamie. Happy Monday. Georgia, Rhea, Christina's here, and April and Kathy are here. And I'm super excited because these cups are fun. They're fun, they're unique, you know, every single one is a little bit different. So here's one that I have that I want to add to. It's not perfect, but it's fun. And, you know, you can kind of use as many colors as you want. You can change up the colors. We'll talk about all of that over the course of the live stream. If you are excited to get started, make sure you guys hit the like button and share the stream with any of your crafty friends to help support the channel. So Pamela just received her first order today. That's so exciting. And Kim and Brenda, Teresa, Julie, hello. Let me know in the chat if you guys have the inks. So this is my second stream where I'm using the inks. But the last time we were just kind of playing around and seeing how they were. I've used them a lot since then. And compared to the last time I used them, I love them a lot more. The more I use them, the more like I'm so excited to keep using them and creating new designs. Like they're super fun. So there's a lot of different colors, and you can do whatever you want. But the first thing you need to do is prep your mugs. Now I will say that ceramic is hard to prep. So you just have to practice and get used to it and, you know, use a mug that you make for a little while, you know, use it, test it out before you go giving it to somebody or selling it to somebody. I mean, I think you should do that with all of your stuff, but test it and kind of give your mugs a trial run. But I prep them the same way as a regular stainless steel tumbler. I sand them down with the Dawn Power Wash and make sure that they pass the water test the exact same way I would prep a stainless steel tumbler. So if you're new to using ceramic, you can get mugs really cheap from like the Dollar Tree or Target, or if you really just want to practice, hit up like a local thrift store because you could get them super cheap. And you can also get like the ceramic tiles, right? We did those last time. If you want to practice the prep and make sure it holds up and do all of that, prepping is super important, but it can be challenging to get like the glaze off of the mugs. So if you're new to mugs, just make sure that you're practicing and testing out your mugs before you go, you know, selling them to people, which you should do always. But so basically I have all of these inks and I have the blending solution. I'm going to be using little like condiment cups that I get on Amazon to mix things up, and then I don't know where they are. Oh, here they are. I've got like caps so I can, you know, keep anything that I need. And I will be using the Grand Finale with these mugs, both to apply my inks and post once the inks are dry to do a few more coats. So let me know in the chat. Oh, you already did. I love the inks. I have them and used them once. Need more practice. She's got 5. Used them twice. Have them all. Got the blending ink. Waiting to get brave to make mine with pigments. Okay, you're going to be great. The cool thing about the inks is I'm going to use, you know, some of the colors that we have, but you can use the blending solution and you could like mix colors together. You can put in the other CrystaLac pigments that you would use to tint your paints. all to, you know, test, to try new colors. It's super fun. So I also got some of the liquid mica and just mica powder because I wanted to see how it works. I haven't actually done that yet, but hopefully you guys are willing to, you know, hang out with me while I try it. I think it could be fun to add a little bit like of a silver mica, but I want to try to mix it with the blending solution to see, I just want to see how it works. So when you, oops, I think I want to try to use black. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I want to try to use black, and maybe we'll just use this one right here. Okay, so these are prepped and ready to go. I'm using my regular foam for this regular mug that I use in my tumblers. And I do have like this giant mug that I'm super excited about. I got this from, where'd I get it from? Somewhere online. I'll have to look it up. But I'm using the white foam that I use for like my modern curve tumblers or like my bigger tumblers. So just so you know, just use what you have. You don't want it to fall off, obviously. So let me turn on my turner. And let me know in the chat how your weekend was. If you guys did anything good, happy Monday. I know a lot of you are teachers or parents and your kids are back in school. You're starting school up again. My kids are in preschool and they don't start till next week. And as most of you know, I was a teacher, but I am no longer in the classroom, so the start of the school year is always kind of like, feels weird not to get ready to like go back to teaching. But I hope you guys are off to a good start of the school year. I can't believe it's like already just about September. Okay, so I'm going to use just the black, and I'm going to mix it in with the grand finale. So I showed you last time in my last live stream, you can just drop in the inks, but it's not quite the same. So maybe we'll try both. Let me know in the chat if you want me to do both. I can mix in the inks with my grand finale before I put them on, or you can just use the inks straight. So I think we'll do both, so I can show you like how it works. So I'm just going to put a little bit of grand finale in this little cup and mix in my inks. And if you remember from the last live, I had trouble getting these open, but now that I've like opened them a few times, it's a lot easier to get the containers open. So I'm just going to put a little bit of black ink into this grand finale. And it's going to be a little bit like gray because remember the grand finale, it has like a milky color, but it will dry clear, so it'll be a little bit different of a color, but so it kind of lightens up when you put it with the grand finale. But you could put in like white here too if you wanted to make a gray or, you know, whatever you wanted. So I'm going to show you kind of how it behaves with when you mix it in. This is how I like using it. I think it depends on the look that you're going for. So I recommend get some cheap mugs or coasters and just play around and see what works. I have like a pre-recorded tutorial of an ink water bottle that I'm working on. Well, it's not done yet, but I will have a tutorial. And I'm going to show you kind of like, I messed it up totally at first, but like now it looks good. So it's just a matter of like figuring out what you like and what look you're going for. So the first thing you're going to do is put a thin coat of your grand finale on your mug or whatever you're choosing to use. You can do this on a tumbler as well. And you can use the bright tone if you want. I'm going to use grand finale. I don't know, I really like how it works with the inks. So I'm just going to put a coat of the grand finale on my mug. You don't need a whole lot because you're going to add more, right? I just mixed up my ink with more Grand Finale, so you don't want to overdo it. So I'm just going to put on a thin coat, and I am doing the bottom as well. I prepped the bottom, you know, before I got on this live. And then I'm also going to do the handle. You could leave the handle. You could, you know, I've got glitter already on this mug. You don't have to do anything on the handle. It's like, you can, it's up to you. It's your mug. It's your piece of art. You get to do whatever you want. So what I like about the inks is they are like, hold on, let me do this first and then we can talk about why I like them and a few things to think about. So I'm just going to add some of this to my mug. I recommend, you know, just keep in mind that you can always add more. It's hard to take it away. And then you can either use a straw or you can use like this I got from Michael's that's like meant to blow around alcohol inks. You can use that as well. I like the straw personally. I kind of like to get it, well, it really depends on the looks you're going for. And you can take it up as high as you want. It's just like how it's always been, the style to not go all the way to the top, but you certainly can do whatever you want. And then you're just going to blow it around. And then it's also fun. Let me zoom in here. After I kind of move this one around, I'm going to add in some white. But you can see it kind of like spreads all on its own. To have some, you know, darker spots versus some lighter spots. And then you can, I'm going to add in a little bit of white. Okay, I mixed red ink into the Grand Finale and pink quartz to make a brighter, darker pink, and it worked good. Yes, it's so fun. You can really mix up anything you want. So I'm going to put in a little bit of white. And you can see it starting to spread. I'm only doing like a very little bit. I don't want this to be overpowered with white. And it will move a little bit. So again, like less is more. I have kind of a lot on here, but that's okay. And then you just like let it do its thing. And the ones that I've tried, I've sort of like stayed here and like kept using my straw. Like as it spins, okay? Like this is, I don't know how I feel about the white on here anymore, but it's okay. But it's all right. I put on a little too much, in my opinion. You can kind of see right here, it's like starting to kind of look like it's dripping. However, you can do this. Something I have toyed with as well is taking my heat gun, okay? But you guys, you have to listen carefully. Listen carefully. I turn it on like like almost cold, okay? Like it can go hot to cold, at least the one I have. And I do it like almost cold, and I just kind of hit it with my heat gun for like 10 seconds to help it start to dry so it doesn't quite move as much as it is now. Okay, you can always, I don't really want to add more to this, but you can, you know, add more if you need to. Another thing you can do is you can add the blending solution. But like I said, this cup really does not need any more anymore, but here we are. But you can add the blending solution. You can kind of see it coming through here, lightening up some of the pieces to make a really, just to change it up a little bit. So those are your options. And so then I would let this spin longer. So normally, I didn't really get any on the handle either, but you can. We can add that now. So other things you can do. No, what was I saying? Oh, you want it to spin longer. So normally grand finales dry to the touch. Dry to the touch in about an hour, but because this is a little bit heavy, just like any other swirl cups that you do, you want to let this spin longer. It might be a couple hours before it's really okay for you to take it off the turner, but it really depends on how much that you use. So that's one option. You can do one color, you can add in another color, you can use your blending solution, you can use a straw. And if you want to babysit your cup, you can let it just spin and see what happens. Or you can kind of keep adding more air, kind of pushing the inks around as it starts to dry. That's another option. I got a little up here. I'm going to wipe it away with my finger. Grand finale, yes, does dry in 2 hours, but this is a little bit heavier than a normal coat because I started with a light coat and then I just added a bunch more. So I'm going to let this spin probably for like 3-4 hours, and I won't recoat it until at least tomorrow, probably tomorrow afternoon. Okay, so what do you guys think? I think this would be super fun. If anybody's been wanting to make like a coffee swirl tumbler, I think maybe that's what I need to do next. But doing some of the brown with the white to do that would be really cool. It doesn't have to be on a mug. It could be just on a tumbler. But again, you're just going to let this spin and it'll continue to kind of spread out and do cool things as it dries. Okay? So I'm going to move this over here. And before we are done, we can take a look at that, you know, before we sign off for the night. Okay? So let me show you what it looks like when you just drop in the inks. It's a little bit different. They behave a little bit differently. So that first one was Grand Finale. And then I mixed my CrystaLac water-based inks into the Grand Finale and then put it on the cup. Now I am still going to start with Grand Finale on my cup, but then I'm just going to drop in the inks. But before we do that, shall you do blue? I'm kind of feeling blue. And maybe blue and green on the same cup, and we can see what it looks like. But these are the CrystaLac water-based inks if you're hopping on late. Something to keep in mind about these is like a lot of people just in general, like a lot of crafters in general, not necessarily you, but people always ask like, oh, is this like something else? Are these like alcohol inks? Are these like Bombay inks? And the answer is like yes and no, right? You can get these inks to have a similar look to alcohol inks, but they are very different in a lot of ways. They don't look the same. And like the chemical makeup is very different. And I don't like to wear a respirator if I don't have to, but you really should when you're using alcohol inks. So that's why I like these. And then these behave very differently than the Bombay inks, but you can use them all to kind of create a similar look. So I would go into using these inks, like these are brand new and they're not like anything you have. So if you're like, oh, I have Bombay inks, I don't need those, that's true and also not true because they're very different. Does that make sense? So they're like a whole new ball game of what you can do and just how they behave. So that's my little spiel on the inks. Do you guys have questions about the inks? Okay, let me check on questions. Okay, trying to justify buying them as I just bought more alcohol inks. Well, you can use alcohol inks if that's what you prefer. I really like these inks. They're just different and they're not toxic, so that's nice. Where alcohol inks are toxic. But really cool, and you can make really cool things with them. Okay, can you use acrylic paint with Grand Finale? I assume so, yes. You can mix in a little bit of acrylic paint with your Grand Finale to just make sure it's only a very little bit. Hi, Brooke. Can regular mica powders work with it? Wilma, I'm not 100% sure, but I have some mica powder right here that I would like to try. And I would also like to try the liquid micas. I think maybe we can try it on this one if we want. So for this one, I'm going to use blue and green because, I don't know, I like blue and green. And I'm just going to drop them on to my tumbler. And you can see how it's different. I prefer to mix them in with my Grand Finale and then drop them in. But like I said earlier, you really should play around with them. Get some cheap mugs, get some cheap tiles, and play around with it and see what makes you happy. Thanks, Becky. Pink is not my normal go-to color, but I think I like it. I'm happy with the pink. And then I'm actually, like, the other two I did like the other one I did a super thin coat. This one I'm not going quite as thin because I'm not mixing my inks in with the Grand Finale. So I'm not like too worried about there being too much. I haven't used my Grand Finale either. Oh, you gotta use it. Okay, on Thursdays are when my like pre-recorded tutorials go live. And I started a Tumblr on Saturday. And I'm doing a step-by-step tutorial and it's going to be done like tomorrow. Like maybe Wednesday, the last final coats, but like it's so fast. It's so fast. Okay, so I'm going to shake these up and I'm just going to drop them right into my Grand Finale. Okay, it's different. It's just different the way it works. Can you use the inks on tumblers like you're using them on the mugs? Absolutely, you can do this exact same process on a regular tumbler. Okay, I'm just going to drop these in. Without mixing them in, they're not going to spread quite as much, or they're not going to like swirl as much, but they're going to like lace out. I'll show you. So they look different. They lace out and like spider web a little bit more. But it looks cool. It's just different. a little more like paint spatter. You can always add more. So I'm going to add a little bit more blue. And you can also add some blending solution. But they kind of like, it like laces out more, like, that's the best I can describe it. It's just like a very different, it's just different. But you can also add some blending solution to help them kind of blend together and move around. That's some going rogue, which you can wipe away if you want, or you can just leave it. Doesn't really matter. You can add in even more, like a different color. You can add in like white if you wanted. I would wipe this away with, like, if you have anything, if you get some rogue spots, I would get like a damp paper towel. You can see it just looks different, but really cool. Like, it's just a different way to do it. And different colors are going to look different versus, you know, different color combinations are going to look different. Different methods are going to look a little bit different. You can hold, like, you could straight up, you could take this off your turner if you want. You know, then you maybe like, and you can like hold it down so things don't go quite as rogue. But whatever you want. Whatever makes you happy, whatever method feels good. Oh, wow, that was close. Didn't spill. But yeah, so there's so many different things you can do to make your designs. Is there a way to make a lighter blue or a lighter green? Yes, you can mix them together with the blending solution. So hold on, let me zoom out. We're super close up on this mug right now. Ugh, it's not working. Hold on, sorry guys, hold on. There we go. Bear with me. So you can mix like your blending solution. You could mix blue and white or whatever you want with your blending solution and make it lighter. Like, how cool is that? And then you could use this as an ink, just like we used these ones, or you could, oh, I did spill, or you could mix it in with your grand finale. Either way. All right. And then the other thing you can do is take it in layers. So if you do this and you're like, you know what, it's not quite what I wanted, or you have a spot that doesn't look great, let it dry, and then you can add more layers. So this one right here looked really bad, and then I did a second layer, and now it looks better. It's not done yet, but it looks better after I just did a second coat. So like, less is more, walk away, and then you can always do a second coat. You can always add more. Okay, so like this one, I didn't really worry about the handle, but I could do a second coat, or I could add it now, or, you know, do it later. Okay, Sarah says she used a paintbrush. Yes, you can also use a paintbrush. I tried it, and it didn't look very good, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't. It's just another method to make something really, really pretty, okay? All right, so I've got one more mug. I've got two more mugs. I want to try, so much for my nails. We're getting inks all over them. That's okay. I want to try the liquid micas and mica powder. So I think I'm going to try to add another layer with the liquid micas, and then we'll do some mica powder. We'll try it out. Okay. I use a hand bellows, which is better than a straw. Yeah, there's lots of things you can use to move around your air. Whatever you like, you should do. I just feel like with a straw, I have a lot more control. You could also use, if you have like an airbrush without any paint in it, you can use that as well. Lots of ways to move around your inks in your grand finale, in your everything. Lots of different ways you should try out and test and see what's good for you. Okay, so I am going to wipe up some of the ink that I spilled. And then I'm going to put some of the blending solution in here. I don't need a lot. And I'm going to put in some silver liquid mica. And then I'm going to see how it works. I've actually not done this. We'll do the liquid mica for this one. And then maybe on the next one we will do some mica powder. Try to mix it as good as I can. Hopefully have enough in there. My turner's starting to make some unfortunate noises. My apologies. And so then this I'm just going to do as a second coat. So I'm going to add some Grand Finale. I did this one, I don't know when I did this one, so I'm not too worried about adding a second coat, but make sure you let it dry really well, like at least overnight before you add another coat. After you do really a swirl of any kind or a Milky Way, you really want to make sure that you let it dry really, really well. Okay, so let's see how it goes. You can mix and match colors together in the blending solution, and you can also create your own new color if you wanted. If you have the pigments, let me zoom in. If you have the pigments, you can mix up your own ink color, which is super fun. So the silver is really, really subtle. I don't even know if you guys can see it on the camera, but I could have probably added more. But if I kind of strategically use my air. I think I just got paint all over my face. To kind of like group it up. It was a really fun, really fun way to add a little bit to your tumbler or your mug. I really recommend it. The silver is really subtle. I think that if you used like the champagne, the gold, definitely the rose or the copper will be even more vibrant. But I also probably could have added more in my mix. Like if I would have used more liquid mica, it would have worked well too. What do you guys think? Super fun. So like that can be done as a second coat. You could do this silver or whatever color you want to do. You could do it while you're doing the original swirl. We can do that on this next one. Okay, I'm going to move this to my other turner, and then you guys in the chat, let me know what colors I should do on my last mug that we're going to do here today. Let me know what colors I should do. And I think I'm going to do some mica powder. But I don't think I have... I think I only have like a silver mica powder available, so maybe a darker color, but you could let me know in the chat what color I should do on this last mug. Hopefully it's not too heavy for my turner here. It might be. Well, we're gonna have to hold it then. This one's so heavy, unfortunately. I think that's okay. We can hold it. We will improvise. Orange and copper, turquoise, purple. Ooh, purple. Love purple. I'm going to take my watch off because we don't need that. And I'm just going to hold it, and we're going to hope for the best. There we go. Clean this off. It's got some glitter on it. Okay, and remember, you need to prep your mugs. Oh, I should prep my inks first. Okay, so maybe we will do purple. We've got this like violet that's really pretty. And then I think I'm going to do some silver mica powder. Teal and purple. Okay, we can do teal and purple. Those are like my faves. So that sounds great, Katrina. That's a great choice. All right. So I'm going to put a little bit of blending solution. And I'm going to grab some mica powder. It's just a silver mica powder. You can use whatever color you want, whatever you have. And just mix it up. And then I'm going to put my other ones in grand finale, because that's how I like to do. I don't need a lot, so I'm just going to put a little bit in each cup. And I don't know where the top went. I like to give my inks a little bit of a shake. Okay, so let me know in the chat who's excited to make some ink swirls. Who is excited? Because, ooh, I don't know that I've used the purple, which is why this is hard to open. There we go. It's super fun on these mugs. Remember, it's really important to do good prep. And if you do it on a tumbler, you could do that too. Just a nice base coat. I think it'll flow a little bit better if instead of doing it like straight on like a universal white or a paint, you do a couple coats of Grand Finale first. So like do your base coat white or whatever, do a couple coats of the Grand Finale or Bright Tone, whatever you're using, and then do your swirl. Okay, you can do it on any tumbler, any glass, ceramic, stainless steel, acrylic, whatever you got. Whatever you got. Okay, so this is the teal and the purple, the violet. And I am going to just hold this. Ugh, this is really a heavy mug. So the one thing to remember is if you are comparing this to alcohol inks, while the Grand Finale, yes, dries fast, it does not, they do not dry as fast as alcohol inks. I don't know that anything dries as fast as alcohol inks, but those have solvents to help it dry quickly. So just keep that in mind as you are testing things out and trying new things. I am just going to put some Grand Finale on here first. Course, now my whole hand is gonna be dirty. Let me grab a paper towel. I wish I had a baby wipe down here, but I don't. And I'm going to just start. I'm gonna try to keep this in camera because it's awkward with the way I'm sitting. Ooh, I should also put something down so I don't make too much. Although I'm always making a mess. Okay, this is hard to do with one hand, but we're going to try our best. Okay, I haven't been successful yet while playing with them. This definitely helps. Well, I'm glad to hear that. It does definitely take practice. My first go, it did not look good. I personally like to mix them with my Grand Finale. All right, this is the day. This right now, I really wish my friend Kim was here to help me out. I could use another hand. I might just pour this on, you guys. It'd be easier for me. I'll just load it on there. And again, I like using the straw. You can use whatever makes you happy to blow around your inks. I'm trying also to keep this moving like as if it was on a turner because I need it to keep swirling. This is like super 90s vibes for me. all of this blowing air into the straw for the last 45 minutes is a little much for my brain, a little lightheaded, so I'm gonna stop doing that. And I will say using this, like, is great. It's moving the inks really well, but it's also splattering my inks a lot, so just keep that in mind. You can always add blending solution. I don't want to add too much because it's not actually spinning. But if you wanted to, you can add a little bit, and you can see it like activate the ink right there and thin it out a little bit. And then I'm going to add some of that mica powder now, hopefully. Oop, I gotta have to stir it all again. This is like, can you rub your stomach and pat your head? I'm like trying to turn this cup and stir this. So this looks pretty cool. It's definitely swirling really nicely. Let me see if I can bring you guys in closer so you can see. So you can see the silver looks really nice. As it combines, it's definitely giving me some mermaid vibes. I'm making a huge mess. The purple and teal together looks really, really good. Big fan. Big fan. What do you guys think about this one? My arm hurts. I'm not gonna lie, this mug is very heavy, so my arm is starting to hurt. However, it looks good. I'm gonna keep this one for myself. Great big mug for my coffee. I'm just going to keep spinning it so it can dry a little bit more. It's dry. It's definitely dry up here already. Just where it meets where I added all the extra. It's still swirling, but I think it's going to be really, really great. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit more. Okay, let me look at questions because I totally was not paying attention to questions because I was very into this. I was very focused. And I'm just going to keep swirling this around my hand. It looks, I really, really like it. The teal and the purple coming together to make this really pretty blue. The silver mica powder. I really, really like it. Okay, I love this color combo. Thanks, Kim. Kelsey's V into this one. Sarah says she has to go. I am really glad you spent the evening with us. Okay, Patty is getting organized after dropping her daughter off at college. Oh, I know that's tough, Patty, but now hopefully you have lots of time to make things. Ashley asked, how do you prep the ceramic mugs? I sand them. I sand them with like 200 or 120 grit sandpaper. And with the Dawn Power Wash, just like a tumbler, just like a stainless steel tumbler. So like there are some spots that are like really starting to combine. I can always go in with a second coat and add like more purple if I really want more distinct teal and purple. You know, you can always go in with a second coat, or you can avoid it altogether by using a little bit less, but I got a little carried away. Plus this blue is actually really pretty, so I'm not too concerned. But I think it is super fun to play with these. Each one is going to be a little bit unique, and it will, they'll all turn out a little bit different. Like even if you use the exact same color combination, yours is going to look different. So remember, let this dry. Prep is super important. Let this dry overnight. If you're doing swirls, I always wait overnight, and then you can finish this up with a couple of coats of the grand finale. I'm probably just going to let this dry and do like 3 or 4 coats of grand finale and call it a day. So that's really, really quick. You know, you could get these done super quick, or if it was, whether it's a mug or a tumbler, you know, 4 coats of your grand finale and you're going to be done. That's like one day. So you could get these done really, really quickly. Just trying to fix up this handle real quick. All right, do you guys have any questions? Do you have any questions about the inks or mugs or what have you? If you guys make any, make sure you guys, if you post them, tag me, because I really, really, really would love to see all of your beautiful creations and to see all of the different unique things we can come up with as a group. I absolutely love seeing all of your work. So make sure you guys post and tag, or if you're not doing it on social, if you want to post it in like the Facebook group. It's super fun. All right, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening and a really good week. I haven't decided what we're doing next week, but we will be back here next week and doing something fun. Follow me on Instagram if you want any input on what we will do. What did you put on the cup as a coat? I'm using the Grand Finale from the CrystaLac Company, as well as their water-based inks for all of these tumblers. I will be taking Grand Finale to the top of the mug. It's safe, it's water-based, it's non-toxic, it's safe, so I'm just going to take it all the way up to the top. All right, so I will film the process of the rest of this, finishing these up, and I will either post it here on YouTube or on my Instagram. And I will see you guys next week. Enjoy your week. I hope that you had as much fun as I did, and I will see you here next week.